sir. Monitoring is a potential AI-based fast diagnostic system delivering 22 ayurvedic parameters with more than 85% accuracy. Now, I would like to invite Mr. Viraj Vibhude, expert from monitoring to introduce us to this concept so every physical area can use it effectively for better practice. So, welcome.
File manager చూద్దాం ఫైల్ మేనేజర్
I am Viraj Vibhude, and I am a senior research analyst at Patidar. Our company's CEO is Dr. Anil Joshi, PhD from IT. And with me, presenting with me is Mr. Deepak Jha, sales manager at Patidar. Now beginning with Patidar, right now we are a company who has reached to more than 2,000 doctors and more than 100 colleges. We have collected data from more than 500,000 patients, and the total revenue collection is almost at around.
Meanwhile, I request Dr. Minister and Dr. Uttal to please chair the session.
Okay, so yes, Adre Innovations has a collected revenue of around 1 million right now. The company is CDSO, product is CDSO approved, and has been awarded Startup Award in 2021, and also has patents from USA, Europe, as well as Indonesia. So yoga is the first product that India in the health sector that India exported. Right now, yoga is practiced worldwide, and ayurveda can be the next product. Where does ayurveda stand? So at the intersection of data science, electronics, and information technology. These are the various devices that can be that are smart watches, smart glasses, and this is where okay, so this is so following now. Okay, so this is where Nadi comes in, and this can be India's, that is Bharat's next contribution to the world. So what can Bharat contribute? Ayurveda has Ashtavida Pariksha, and pulse diagnosis is the most prominent amongst this. However, due to pulse diagnosis being a Guru Shishya, being passed on in Guru Shishya Parampara, it is now losing its prominence within this Ashtavida. That is where Nadi device comes in. The health sector is around $7 trillion, but Ayurveda's
stand लगाओ
market capitalization within this health sector is very strong. As you can see in this, in the blue circle or in the tiny green dot is where Ayurveda is right now. The problem of the 19th and 20th century was related to communicable diseases. However, the problem of the 21st century is non-communicable diseases, that is lifestyle related disorders. So diabetes, hypertension, hormonal disorders, and mental disorders is where the world is most struggling with right now. And this is where Ayurveda shines. Right? Ayurveda shines where lifestyle disorders can be counted. So the root causes of lifestyle disorders are generally around irregular diet, nutrition deficiency, poor digestion, and so this issue where root causes need to be tackled, whereas modern Western medicine mostly deals with what is shown in the upper part, where it deals with the symptoms of disease, not with the root cause. And Ayurveda has a personalized approach. We take into consideration the routine, and then we take into consideration the imbalance that is occurred with the routine. And this is how Ayurveda tackles full Nadi Pariksha, identifies the imbalance, and then tackles the patients. So this is a 5,000-year-old science, and it helps us find the root causes. Nadi Pariksha, as everybody knows, exercise done by taking the pulse of the wrist, the arterial, radial artery on the wrist. So, Nadi Pariksha is a authentic certified device which will give you brief outputs. So, Nadi Pariksha device will give you Vitruvi, which is Vata Pitta Kapha concentration. It will output Sama Nirama on the Vedavati indications. Okay. As well as Bala and Agni levels. The report also produces 10 Nadi Gunas, stress quotient, digestion and hydration levels, as well as AI powered recommendations regarding yoga, diet, etc. All the graphs and numbers comparison with the previous visit of the patient is also given. So you need to track the patient. The previous parameters regarding liquidity, guna, etc. They are also compared with the current parameters. So you can track the prognosis and diagnosis of the patient. So where this all began? Professor J.V. Joshi is our CEO Anurag Joshi's father. He is the Padma Bhushan awardee, and he was suffering from some health issues back in 2003, which modern medicine was not able to solve. However, Vaidya Ashok Bhai, when Professor J.V. Joshi approached him, he was able to help him with those issues. And this is how Dr. Anurag Joshi began his journey as a PhD student at IIT Bombay. So the sensors and the equipment, electronic equipment, as well as machine learning algorithms that he came up with, they became here. So there is a air pressure sensor. There are 3 air pressure sensors that are employed. These air pressure sensors affect the diaphragm, and the diaphragm has electronic sensors which digitize the pulse signal. And this is how the pulse signal is acquired. So during the PhD thesis, more than 500 patients, the data of more than 500 patients was captured, and then it was validated with more than 20 medical experts. This is how Nadi terminal hardware was developed finally in 2016. So when the pulse pressure, the pulse is fed via air pressure columns and then digitized, this is how the signal looks. When the palpitation is low, the signal will have a smaller amplitude. When the palpitations are higher, the signal will have a higher amplitude. And also because the arteries have elasticity, so there will be a reflected wave which shows as the second diachromatic wave in the pulse signal. However, real world data will be more messy. This is the second last tag is this shows the text to text of how a pulse will look. However, the real world data will be more messy and it will have these variations. Now mapping these variations to various aerobic parameters, that is the task. And this was accomplished using machine learning. So this is the typical pulse wave. It has a percussion survey, it has a tidal survey, then there is a valley here, and there is a diachromatic wave. So the data analysis approaches that we acquire data, we clean it, we visualize it, then temporal and dynamic parameters are found out, and then using machine learning rules are identified. Once these are identified, those are tested on the newer data that comes. And once we test it on the newer data, we find that we have more than 85% accuracy. So I will give you a small peek behind how the machine learning algorithm works. This is not a forum to explain it in detail, but for example, if a person is happy, the pulse will be steady. However, if the person is worrying or is sad or is disgusted by something, then the pulse will be weak. However, in the condition of anger and excitement, the pulse will be faster. In the case where there is poor digestion or AMA is high, the pulse will have a high volume, that is area under the curve of the pulse will be higher. If the person is hungry, the pulse will be at inconsistent rate, so on and so forth. So these rules were identified using machine learning, and this is how we map them to IRP parameters. So in computer science language, we have features in time domain, that is depth, intensity, amplitude of the pulse. In frequency domain, that is speed, frequency and rhythm of the pulse. And in the morphology, that is shape domain. Then there is length, type and shape, quantity of the pulse, texture of the pulse. So these are mapped to IRP parameters of Sarpa, Manduka and Hansa, which is Vata, Pitta and Kapha. There is also an issue of how much pressure is applied. The amplitude of the pulse will not only depend on how much the strength of the palpitations, but it will also depend on how much pressure is employed by the person using it, that the doctor using it. So this will result in pulses of various amplitudes, and that data has to be cleaned so that we get a normalized pulse of a particular height and width, whose shape can be compared to other pulses and the standard pulses, and we can arrive at the diagnosis. You can think of body as a lung model. So think of heart as a battery source. Every organ system can be considered as the combination of a resistor and capacitor. So when there is any change in the resistor and capacitor in any part of the body, the heart has to adjust its function so that a particular voltage and current is kept constant. So in terms of blood, you can think of it as a particular pressure and volume of the blood can be kept constant in response to any issue in any part of the body. And now this change in heart's function, that can be felt at the radial artery. And you can feel it at other places as well, but radial artery is the most convenient one. That is how Nadi Pariksha probably developed. There is also a pseudo-periodic nature to the pulse. So the pulse is not constant. These are milliseconds. Right? So 696 milliseconds and 700 milliseconds. So there will be some variation. So for ayurvedic analysis, the average of this is important as well as the standard deviation of it is important. So in popular parlance, we call it pulse rate variability, or you must have heard of heart rate variability. Right? We can approximate to heart rate variability using pulse rate variability. So now this is some of the research behind the functioning of the Nadi Pariksha device, and this research has been published. A PhD has been awarded at IIT Bombay. PhD topic was acquisition and quantitative analysis of the RPM pulse. Then there are various publications in different journals related to both medical science, ayurveda, as well as engineering. You can visit nadiparingi.com/research and look at all the papers. There are more than 55 papers that have been published. Several experts have endorsed the device. So Padma Shri Dr. H.R. Nagendra, Padma Shri Vaidya Rajesh Kotecha, as well as Vaidya Kandagar, they have endorsed the device, as well as Shri Narendra Modi, our Prime Minister, has mentioned the device during his monthly. Several others like Shri Ravishankar, Maharashtra Chief Minister, Shri Nitin Gadkari, they have also taken a look at the device and endorsed it. These are the next projects that we are taking up. So as we discussed, Ashtavidha Pariksha includes not only Nadi Pariksha, but also, for example, tongue analysis. So we are using computer vision to look at the color, texture, and spots on the tongue, and then give output regarding digestive power, acidity, and other indications. Similarly, personality can be read using computer vision to do face analysis. We can look at various proportions within the face using computer vision and arrive at a personality range. Another hands-on device to Nadi Pariksha right now is a device that can be used by doctors, but a direct to customer device where people can wear it. So the smartwatch wearables are already there, but they are regarding modern science. They give heart rate variability and other such indicators. But Ayurvedic analysis, a device that can use pulse readings and give Ayurvedic analysis, such a device is not available. So that is being worked on. The working prototype is in testing right now. So this is the team. Our CEO is Dr. Anil Joshi. Paratul Kulkarni sir is co-founder, and Akshay Advokate sir is also co-founder and CEO. And we have domain experts, Dr. Velasuni and Shruti Kulkarni. So this is regarding the product itself. Now I will introduce you to a research portal which is being developed by Nadi Pariksha. So any doctor who avails the device, has access to this login. And once you log in, so yes, there is a research portal. For example, you are all college students and you are doing some research, and you have collected data using the Nadi Pariksha device. And the device has output of Vata Pitta Kapha, so Vikruti, Akruti, as well as Guna parameters and several other parameters. Now this research portal will help you write research papers using the data that you have collected. So maybe you have collected data during certain durations, you can select the data range and download the data collected via the non-dependent device. You can add other parameters to it like BMI, HbA1c numbers, other such things that you have collected. And once the complete data set is ready, you can visualize it using this portal. I'll give you small examples regarding it. So there's a mapping portal which will give you analysis like this. Let it run. Okay. So for this particular doctor, Dr. Mothendra Patel, I logged into his device, and this is his data. So you can look at Prakriti by age, Prakriti distribution for adult age group and other age groups. Then you can go ahead and look at, for example, how BMI is affected by Prakriti. So we expect that Kapha Prakriti patients people will have higher percentage of overweight. So as you can see, overweight people are highest among the Kapha Prakriti patients. So once you have data collected via your device at your college, you have ready access to such analysis. There are several other such graphs. Also, more importantly, there is a research module wherein if you have, these are the common study designs that are employed in medical sciences. So for example, RCT analysis. Suppose there is a randomized control trial which is being done at your institute. You can upload your data and then you can continue. So right now I will show on demonstrate on dummy data, but you can upload any data set here which pertains to randomized control trial. So I use dummy data here. Now here you can map your own powers. So whichever data set you upload, the patient ID within that data set has to be mapped here. The time point column. So this is the RCT study. There will be T0, T1 and T2, right? So for example, suppose there are IBS patients for whom you are doing the RCT trial. There are two medicines which you are trying. One is the control group and the other group. So and for them, you carry out the trial for 1 month. You collected baseline data at T0, all the RANI parameters. When the treatment began, group A was given one treatment, group B was given another treatment. And then at 15-day interval, you collected data again for both group A and group. And the 30-day interval, when suppose the study ends, the intervention ends, you again collected the data. So T0, T1, and T2 are basic. T0 is baseline, T2 is post-intervention. The groups are identified by the group column. So you select group A is the control and group B is the intervention. And you select positive outcomes and negative outcomes. So for example, positive outcome is digestion score. So for example, since these were IBS patients, we are looking at how digestion score improved over the period of time. And negative outcome is, for example, stool frequency per day. So you're looking at whether stool frequency per day reduced. So this is the negative, lower is better outcome, that is stool frequency per day reduced, and positive outcome, that is digestion score improved. And then you simply click on generate dashboard and you get the analysis done. So in this dummy data set, which I am looking at, the digestion score between group A and B, the difference was just 1.39 and the p-value was 0.68. So generally p-value of less than 0.05 is considered significant. So here the p-value is not significant. However, if you look, the digestion score for both group A and B, the responders, so 32 out of 38 people responded positively. Here 37 out of 42 people responded positively. So the response rate was 84% and 88%. And average improvement in the score was 27 and 26. So the score is out of 100 and average improvement is 26 in this data. And stool frequency per day as well. Everybody responded. So the response rate is 100%. That is stool frequency per day. After both group A and group B treatments, everybody responded and the average improvement was 2 and 3 points. You can look at distributions, like how group A and group B differ for digestion score. So this is a pre-plot of distribution and this is the post-plot. Similarly for stool frequency per day, since here there is a difference. As you can see, stool frequency per day reduced, the distribution of it reduced, and you can see the mean, median, mode values here. You can look at trajectories. So So these faint lines represent everybody in the data set. So this data set had 80 people, so there are 80 lines there. And the dark lines represent the average values. So this is for dimension score. This is how dimension score improves from T0 to T1 to T2. So you can see it per day reduced from T0 to T1 to T2, and this is for A, blue line is for group A and red line is for group B. So this is a very popular research model, so I showcased it here, RCT analysis. That's also forest. Yeah, so forest plot gives how whether group A was favored or group B was favored. So for stool frequency per day, clearly group A is a better treatment. For dilution score, however, group B is the better treatment. So this is how analysis can be done for RCT. There are also other models like longitudinal analysis, cross-sectional analysis, and unsupervised learning as well. These are other study models which are readily available to you. You simply upload your data set, click on generate, map the columns and click on generate analysis, and this analysis will be given to you. We are also working on how to, with the help of AI, how to interpret these results and help you write research papers using this. So not only the analysis will be done, research papers will also be written, which you can edit of course for AI will not be able to do it completely, but some level it will help you to some extent to do your research. So this is the new product that has been launched using management device. Now my colleague Mr. Deepak Shah will demonstrate the device on how to use the device and what reports are generated by the device, what parameters are given by the device. In the meanwhile, if anyone has questions regarding the research portal and what are the things you can do, if you understood anything about it, are there any confusions?
Then how ensure that this
Okay, I understood your first question much better. So I'll first try to understand that and we'll come back to the second question. So the first question was how the results were validated, right? So once the device gives an output, suppose now my colleague will demonstrate the function of the device, input the device on the list, and after a minute or two, it will tell you what your liquidity is. There will also be a questionnaire which will assess your productivity, and there will be some Guna parameter estimated. Now the question is, if the device tells that your liquidity is Vata Kapha, then how do you know that it truly is Vata? So what is the proof or what is the validation of it? So this is what this slide was. Fine. This was the research work that was done by the founder at IIT Bombay, and so the results that were obtained, the data set for this PhD thesis, this was of more than 500 patients, and this data was validated with more than 20 medical experts. So when we learn machine learning's rules, so when the device maps a particular pattern, Nadi pattern, to a particular vikruti, particular gunas, so how do we know that these rules are correct? So these rules were validated with more than 20 medical experts. So basically what happened is those 20 medical experts also felt the Nadi. At the same time, the machine recorded the Nadi, and the machine's outputs were mapped to these experts' outputs. And this is how the validation was done. And this is how the PhD thesis was awarded, and several other research papers have been published which validate the results, to validate the results of this result. And this is what we intend with the research portal as well. So the research portal will help you to validate the results of the device. You can carry out your own research. Once you have the device, you can get the Nadi parameters, and you can also do your own research and see if the output of the device is valid or not. This is what the research portal aims to do. So this research portal that is being developed, this is what is the intention. The device will be available to you at your colleges. You can take the outputs of this device and see, validate whether the outputs are correct or not. And go ahead with it. And you will also get access to raw data, the pulse itself. So you can do your own original research. Can you come back to the second question? Did I answer all your questions?
That's all, man. As per the research work, you told that it will be 100 plus patients you have analyzed the data and then you are going for the conclusion. So here what we are every individual we are calling, we are telling Vata Pitta Kapha. In Ayurveda there is a principle in Panchabhautikampa. So we are not only concentrating on the Vata Pitta Kapha, we have to see all the rest of the principles which is sideways is there. So all the individuals will be separate. Even the twins is there also, their quality will be different. Identical twins also is there, their quality will be different. So according to that, we are going to the individual to the individual. So you are generalizing the data, then how do you take that data and how it will be in correct form? That's what my question. Okay, anyway you explain, sir. Anyway we will see the instrument is in our college also. See, and we will do that. Thank you.
Yes, and just to clarify, the 500 data set was only for the initial assessment. Once the rules are learned, now we have a data set of more than 500,000 patients. So 5 lakh patients and more than a million nadis, more than a million pulse values. Now the rules are revised constantly using machine learning algorithms. So the 500 was only for the initial rule development. Now the rules are continuously getting upgraded and they become more and more accurate as more and more data comes.
I will demo the product how it works. Okay. This Nadi Prangani is a combination of two. You have to have this machine. This is the hardware, and we have software in our laptop. You can use in laptop, desktop, or mobile. Okay. So we have this two-page. This is nadiprangani.com. We have to go into this. This is our website where everything about regarding product is there. You can find how the product works. You can pre-book also. Anyone who wants to pre-book from here. And all the complete details, articles, blogs, everything is there in this. Support team is there who will help you to have feedback and complaints as well as your request can be done over here. We have contact us where all the details of the company, phone number, email ID, all the things are there. In this page there is a login. If you open a login page where the device, whoever has been given the access, username and password will be there for this. This device is mine, so my username and password will be in this. You have to log in into this. You will get an open dashboard where you will find everything regarding what this device can do. There are three ways it can manage. One is customer management, patient management will be there. Second is doctor management. Doctor's prescriptions also can be maintained in this. You can also maintain medical inventory as well as you can download utility ideas. Okay. How it works? When some patient comes to you, you have to go in this add customer. You have to add the detail of the customer by writing the name, code will be one number at the back. So I will take such help in this. I will make you volunteer for this. You can also take print. Second one is you will get a report in WhatsApp. You have to take the WhatsApp number from it. And also it will be mailed to the mail ID. All the things which are there marked in star, you have to fill it out. A should be written for this. Now you need to save the details. You can display this, just need to agree with this. Next, there are two ways to take Prakriti. One is questionnaire based, 30 questions will be there. As you have done in previously, you have 140 questions you have to answer for Prakriti. Here only 30 questions are there. You can take another way also. This is clinical observation. If you know the Prakriti of the patient, you can take it from directly from here. Or you can select it from here. You can skip also this. Now this is for BMI purpose. This is for BMI purpose. There are some symptoms there for the patient. You can select it from here. Or any symptoms are there, you can select it from here. Now we select any. Demo. Now you can start taking that. You need to connect the device first. This is the device you need to connect. You need to start the device. This is the AI sensor where these things are mentioned. What, fifth and puff. So what will be what figure? This way you need to connect it first. The machine will stop after 3 minutes. The device requires only 10 seconds of your pulse. Rest of your 10 seconds. You can see that it is coming the rhythmic way. You can see we have taken for 55 seconds in the nadi. If we have not taken it correctly, the device will say that repeat the process. It will not give you a false reading. If you take second the nadi correctly, now see, if you have to take the retake because we have not taken the eye correctly. You can see from here the reports are been generated. The two reports you can see from here is Nayima report. This is for doctor. You can see we have skipped the Prakriti right now. So Prakriti will not be coming here. This is 10 seconds of Nadi taken from the patient. Now his Nadi parameters are there. Pulse is 140. Regular rhythm is regular. समान निरामा का निरामा है और मन जो एक करती है वेग करती है तो Bala is 80%. You can see that Agni is 70%. Now when the patient comes for the second time, you can compare it also. Previous में जो अभी जो हुआ है और next time जो हुआ है तब आप लेंगे तो current and previous you can find. So you can compare both the sessions. What Bala was there, what was there in Agni. मैं गति पे नाड़ी में अभी कथन करती है कितनी मंडू का गति नाड़ी गुना this is for doctors correlation. नाड़ी गुना में लघु 60%, गुरु is 40%. Katina is 30%, Nilku is 70%. Likewise, you can compare. This is a diagnostic tool which will help you to diagnose the disease. Okay. Now, wellness parameters में आप देखेंगे तो thought and emotion is 60%, prone to stress the chances is 20%. Now you can find something. As we are not, we have still practicing therefore practice is not available. But usually, what is there in Narigati is you can also see from this BMI is 27 is in overweight category. For your age, there is some symptoms will be there. It will not conclude, but it will give you symptoms. So you can diagnose the disease properly. It will help to diagnose it properly. there it comes diet recommendation, what you need to do and what you don't need to do. In terms of grade, like तुम्हें क्या लेना है, क्या नहीं लेना है, you can get it from here. Then lifestyle recommendation in terms of recipe, yoga and fitness, what you need to do and what you don't need to do. Then there is dincharya report which you will get right from early in the morning, getting up early in the morning till night, what you need to do is given in this. Then this dincharya is percentage. So what you need to do in this recommended food, prohibited food, recommended action as well as prohibited actions you can find in this. Moreover, you can write notes for your patient in this if you want to write any notes for the patient. Next comes Adam Karska report. This Adam Karska report will go to your patient. It is a simple language, but for your patient to understand. So this report will go to your patient. Similar things are there in this. What is Prakriti, what is Vikriti? All the things are there in simple language. Only one thing has added the diet plan for next 8 days. As you know, the patient can follow what they have to take. Here there is a diet plan, what he needs to take in the early morning, what he needs to take in the breakfast, lunch, snacks or dinner, what he has to take, everything is given in this. So that patient will remember. It will be in his WhatsApp so that he will remember this all this. Next is diet recommendation, customized wise. Means if your patient is all the peak marks which are given is given by the device, what he needs to take. But if you want to change like if you doesn't want to take barley is not available anywhere. So you can change brown rice. This way you can change customize all the diet recommendation like this. All things like legume, veg, non-veg, everything you can change it or customize it for the patient. Next comes medical inventory. If your patient, you want to prescribe some medicine to your patient, you can prescribe from here. Like if you want to prescribe Ashwa, for example, you have selected Ashwa. You can select it from here also Ashwa. Okay, will come. Here you have mentioned where when he wants to take, when he has to take. Morning, afternoon, night, all the things you can mention over here. उसके बाद फिर इसका डोज देना है आपको. डोज दी whatever you can give, you can whatever you want to give, you can find. This available in liquid form, so you have to select here ml. And this what he needs to take. Warm water, plain water, ginger juice or honey. You have to select it from here. If you want to take it with warm water, you can select it from here. Then duration of the medicine. 7 days, 8 days, 10 days, you can mention it before it. After this, just add medicine. So now one medicine is added. Second medicine can also be added into it. And if you have own formula, if you have own medicine formula, you can also add into it and you can describe your calculation. Last one is fee details. If patient needs to charge for fees like 500 rupees to charge, and he has paid 300 rupees, 200 balance, it is showing that. Now the RO prescribe code which you go to the patient, if you want to give it to him, you can select yes. If you don't want to give, you can select no. Now the reports are available in 8 languages: English, Hindi, Marathi, Gujarati, Urdu, Telugu, Tamil, Bengali. You can select whatever language you want to give the report into. You can select English. Yes. Now you can also give, if you want to give him appointment for next visit. You can select from here, like 25th, you have select when he needs to come, you can select it from here. What time he can leave, you can select it from here. This time duration for visit. This is very important. What you want him to come when he visits next. If you want him to come with the blood report, you can mention here blood report. Or you want him to come after 15 days, you can mention it here visit again after 15 days. This way, you need to remind when he comes again for your as patient, when he again comes to you, you can remember like this. So this will everything will be in your cloud. So you don't have to go and remember anywhere else. You can find it over here. Now, as first page had created, Prakriti will not change. Prakriti will remain the same. Okay. All the reports will be here, like visit report will find the case paper, what we have done to the patient, like in terms of weight, height, all the things will be here. Fees paid, fees charge, and anything if you want to come next appointment is also there. Everything is mentioned in this. This will be your now prescription. What we have prescribed will be there in this. Yes, as well we have prescribed will be there. How we are speak. You can take print out of all this. Then diet recommendation, what you need to take. Everything will be there in this. Similarly, all the weekly report, Nadi report will be there. Nadi Guna as well as Arrow Dhanska report will be there. As well as Arrow Dhanska report will be there. Moreover, if patient comes second time, how will you find this in this? So, you need to go to view all, where you will find the name of the patient. Here you have to select the name. Like last patient or Virat Bhute. You can directly go to assessment. Next time you don't have to take everything. You just go to the start the assessment. You need to select this, agree with the disclaimer, and then you can just go to direct. Direct you have to go and connect the device and take the nadi. So in second process, you don't have to take everything. You just have to go to the nadi and take the nadi. Go to the name and take the nadi. Okay. This is all regarding the demo or how it works. Anything regarding this, if you want to know, you can ask me. Now it's available in your college. Right now, it is available in BSI department. 20 devices are there with this. So you can use this device in your practice. The users, if you use it consistently, you will find it easy to use.
So I have some questions. My first question is you have mentioned the Sama Nirama index. So with which criteria you have differentiated the Sama and Nirama conditions? Is there any specific questioning for the with the help of this instrument only you have differentiated these conditions or with the help of the questionnaire? That's first question. And second one, you have told that you have identified the pregnancy of the person. So how can you confirm that is that the pregnancy or bigotry of the person?
Faculty is by questionnaire based, totally questionnaire based, and 13 questions are there. Faculty is on questionnaire based only, it's not subjective. But Vikriti is taken from Nadi. You are not taking faculty from Nadi.
We have used the questionnaire for both pregnancy and bigotry. So without the help of questionnaire, if you are not getting the results, then what is the use of this instrument? So without questionnaire, if you are not getting these results, what is the use of this instrument?
Sorry, I did not understand what we are not.
So if you are not using any questionnaire and if you are not getting the answer, then what is the use of this instrument?
This time you just skip. You can also skip.
For purpose of demonstration, we skip the faculty questionnaire, but as you can see, you can fill the faculty questionnaire and you will get the screen. So
No, that is with the help of questionnaire, as we already know. We are all doing that with the help of questionnaire, we are assessing the ability, we are assessing the all these things we are doing in a practice. So you are demonstrating this instrument and with the help of instrument you are finding all these data. So if you are not having any of these data and questionnaire, then also if you are going to find out the your Sama condition, then we can answer this one. So without the help of questions you have to prove that. Then only you can answer this instrument. So otherwise how can we answer this instrument?
So, but I am able to understand the question. So, I will repeat what sir has just told. The questionnaire is optional. You don't have to fill it. Right now, the demonstration is kept it.
So by just putting the instrument, you are going to get the result like that.
No, if you skip the questionnaire, you won't get Prakruti analysis. But the Vikruti analysis is done by the Nadi diagnostic. So, I took my pulse rate. You saw the graph. The pulse graph that was there on the screen. So, that
includes the questionnaire. That includes the questionnaire.
It does not go to the questionnaire. Questionnaire is for Prakruti analysis. Or Vikruti analysis, Guna analysis, Agni, Bala, all of them are through pulse. The pulse that was taken by the device, that is on the screen. You saw the waves on the screen, right? From those waves, we find out Vikruti and other 22 Nadi parameters, including Guna, Sama, Nirama, Tichenor, Bruksha, all these parameters are found out. Guna parameters as well as Vikriti is found out from the nadi, not from question.
But you were asking the BMI of the person. If the BMI of the person is overweight, there's a chance of disease. Chance of disease is small in that person. You are asked about if you are having the history of any past illness. This kind of questions were there.
Okay, so is the argument that in Ayurvedic analysis, BMI of the person, the weight and height of the person is not considered? Whenever Ayurvedic Vaidya he takes nadi, he also asks other things, right? He understands the prakriti of the patient, of the person. He understands what the height and weight of the person is. It is not only based on the nadi. There are also other questions that the Vaidya asks. So these are the other questions that the Vaidya asks usually, which were incorporated into the system. But that is not used to do the nadi analysis. Nadi analysis is done purely from the signals, from the pulse signals that it. The other questions are there to supplement the diagnosis.
If you have to prove the instrument means with the help of this instrument only you have to show these catalysts. You should not take the supplement questions and all before proving this instrument. Where do we do it?
The only supplementary question that we took is height and weight. That's it. Height and weight, only height and weight, nothing else.
But the first question is whether the person is available to can enter. My suggestion is that your whole life is what is mentioned, but that is the relevant to the ayurveda. If you want to prove your instrument, only you only take the nadi, then you will just show the result. If you are asking all the supplementary questions, we have all the first years and students are here. Our report, general is like general, analyzing all the prakriti itself. All the questionnaire is there in the journals. We are teaching the students how to recognize that prakriti, etc. So there is no relevance in that. Yeah.
Okay, I understand. So your point is whether without asking the questions we can know the vikriti, right? From this figure.
Right.
So yes, only thing that is compulsory is height and weight of the person. Nothing else has to be filled. Can you tell me my vikriti only based on height and weight? Can a Vaidya, Ayurvedic Vaidya, without feeling the pulse, tell my vikriti only based on height and weight? My height is 176 centimeters, my weight is 85 kgs. Can you tell me my vikriti? No, right? You can't. There no other question is compulsory, only height and weight is compulsory. The prakriti question that you saw on the screen, that is not compulsory, it is optional. You may feel it, you may not feel it. It's not compulsory.
How you can explain that this is not a
Yes, so the diseases that we saw in the report. So if I just open the report. So you are writing question to arrive at what diseases the person is suffering from. You need to prakriti as well as vikriti, right? You can't just know vikriti and tell that. So these diseases, of course, they are all indicated. We are not claiming that you will suffer from sweating and headache. We are saying that because your agni is high, you may suffer from this. So you may have these issues. The person, so see, this device is being used by doctor, not by a layman. So the doctor is going to read this report. The doctor is going to interpret this report. This report is not for patients, it is for doctors. So the doctor knows what the prakriti of the patient is. The doctor knows what Agni, Bala, Guna, and other Prati-based parameters as well as Guna-based parameters have come out. And based on this, as well as the symptoms that the patient has come with, based on all of this, the doctor has to make the diagnosis. This device helps you arrive at the diagnosis. It does not give the diagnosis.
It's a diagnostic tool. It helps
So at the time of what we are getting the result, that only doctor will decide either it is a prakriti or vikriti.
So for example, you go
Actually,
to
we are told that will decide vikriti and questionnaire will decide prakriti. That's why I am asking.
so questionnaire will give you prakriti, the nadi will give you vikriti. taking both these as well as the symptoms that the
That could be a
person.
Prakritik Nadi also. Prakritik Nadi also, no?
Okay, but our device is not analyzing Prakriti using Nadi. Prakriti is purely visualized in this system. I do not know the broader ayurveda topic, but in this
Okay.
system. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you, sir, for the session. I would like to request Dr. Dugalan sir and Dr. Mahit sir to present the Nadi Therapy week number 2. Request Dr. Danda sir to present Dr. Dugalan sir and Mahit sir with certificates.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Now we will continue with Dr. Amod Sore's session.
आगे 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 ऑडियो की आगे तो अल्लाह प्लेट चलो आंसर आ अरे यार ऑटो पर आए आल्या कितना जाना तू जीरो
Keep silence. जिन बच्चों की 4 बजे की बस है ना, उनको कंफ्यूजन है तो अपने ड्राइवर से बात कर लो क्योंकि सारी कॉन्फ्रेंस 5 बजे तक चलेगा। 5:30 बजे बस निकलेगी तो शोर नहीं होगा।
चलो हो गया ड्राइवर को कब करना है अभी वो रुकेगा मैं सिर्फ 30 मिनट सेशन लेने वाला हूँ 30 मिनट्स हमारे पास टेकिसल के पेशेंट आते हैं टेकिसल को इसको तो आप टेकिसल को टेनिस को किसको हुआ था, इस सेलिब्रिटी को? सचिन तेंदुलकर। और वो कितने साल बाहर था? 1 ईयर। 1 ईयर वो बाहर था टेनिस के लिए। तो इतनी बड़ी ये बीमारी नहीं है। आपको सिर्फ एग्जैक्टली मालूम होना चाहिए कि जो कॉमन एक्सटेंसर टेंडन है वहाँ इन्फ्लेमेशन की वजह से टेनिस को होता है। मात्र 2 ट्रिक से आप इसको ठीक कर सकते हैं, ठीक है? सिर्फ एग्जैक्टली वो टेंडन आपको लोकेट करना आना चाहिए। तो इसके लिए कैसे करना है वो मैं आपको बताऊंगा, ठीक है? तो सबसे पहले अंकुश का अंदर लेना है, लीजिए। उसके बाद मुट्ठी बनानी है। उसके बाद नीचे लाना है। जो हैंड है वो नीचे के डायरेक्शन में और अंदर से ऊपर आना। तो ये जो बाहर आया वो जो है वो जगह है टेनिस से। उसी जगह पे इन्फ्लेमेशन है। उस जगह पे आपको सिर्फ 2 ब्रेक करने हैं, ठीक है? अगर इस पोजीशन में आप नहीं लाएंगे तो ब्रेक एग्जैक्टली नहीं हो, ठीक है? उसका वीडियो में दिखाता हूँ। अभी ये पेशेंट है ब्रैकियल न्यूराइटिस का, उसमें मैंने टेनिस एल्बो के पॉइंट लिए हैं। जैसे हाथ को प्लास्टर करते हैं जिस कंडीशन में, उस कंडीशन में हाथ लेके जाना है, तभी ये पॉइंट उभर के आता है। ये मैंने बताया हुआ किसी भी बुक में लिखा नहीं है। जब आप क्लिनिकल प्रैक्टिस में उतरेंगे तब आपको ये समझ में आएगा इसका इम्पोर्टेंस। अभी साइड के सेशन में मैंने कुछ पेशेंट भी किए हैं, इसके रिकॉर्डिंग आप ले लीजिए, जिसमें सर्वाइकल इशू, मेंटल कंडीशन, उसके बाद कौन है, उसके बाद चश्मे का नंबर कम करना है, माइग्रेन है, ऐसे बहुत सारे केसेस हमने लिए हैं उस जगह पे लेक्चर के दौरान। वो रिकॉर्डिंग आप ले लीजिए। तो इस तरीके से आप टेनिस को लेना है। हाउ से शुरू, मतलब कंधे में मोचाना। हमें सिर्फ एक ही मालूम होता है कि इस जगह पे फ्रोजन शोल्डर होता है, ऐसी बात नहीं है। 5 डिसीज होते हैं इस जगह पे। पहला है हाउ से शुरू, मतलब सिर्फ मोचाना। दूसरा है अवबाहु, फ्रोजन शोल्डर। तीसरा है विश्वाची, ब्रैकियल न्यूराइटिस। चौथा है हाउ से शोष और 5वां है बाहुशोष। जैसे ऊपर जाएंगे वैसे वैसे कृष्ण साथ जाएंगे। तो ऑब्सेशन के पेशेंट की कहाँ दिक्कत करना है, तो उसके लिए आपको स्टर्नम नॉच आर्मपिट करनी है, स्टर्नम नॉच, ठीक है? उसके बाद लैटरली जाना क्लैविकल के जरिए, ठीक है? क्लैविकल के जरिए जाना है। वहाँ आपको एक एक्रोमियो क्लैविकल जॉइंट लगेगा। उसके जस्ट नीचे अगर हम आप ऐसा ऊपर उठाएंगे तो एक डिप्रेशन मिलता है, उस जगह पे आपको क्लिक करना, ठीक है? ये वहाँ पे किसी भी बुक में लिखी नहीं है। अभी पालपेट नहीं करोगे तो कहाँ पे क्लिक, ठीक है? कैसे भी जगह को करना है तो इस तरीके से। सिर्फ अर्धवरीय क्लिक करना है। और जो फ्रोजन शोल्डर में जैगरी यानी गुड़ से जो अग्निकर्म किया जाता है उसी पॉइंट पे किया जाता है। तो ये पॉइंट लोकेट करना आना आपको चाहिए। समय की कमी की वजह से मैं फास्ट जा रहा हूँ और पीएम को करूँगा। मतलब फ्रोजन शोल्डर। फ्रोजन शोल्डर में अभी ये नॉर्मल जॉइंट है, ह्यूमेरस और ये कैविट ये नॉर्मल है, और जब इसके अंश मूलिका सेवाओं का संकोच होता है तो इन्फ्लाम जॉइंट होता है और अवबहु व्याधि तैयार होती है। अभी ये पेशेंट है, हम क्विक रिकॉर्ड सब करते हैं पेशेंट की। पहले जो नॉर्मल हैंड है उसकी मूवमेंट चेक करनी है और बाद में अफेक्टेड हैंड। ये नॉर्मल हैंड है, एक्सटेंशन फ्लेक्शन दूसरे अपोजिट साइड को टच करना, ऑक्सीपिटल को टच करना, अभी बाद में अफेक्टेड पार्ट की मूवमेंट चेक करनी है। कितनी भी मूवमेंट हो रही है, ठीक है, इससे ऊपर नहीं जा रहा। पेशेंट को दर्द हो रहा है। हम इन कैमरा रिकॉर्डिंग क्यों करते हैं? क्योंकि ऑफिशियल जो है वो रूप में समझते हैं। पेशेंट कभी नहीं मानता कि मुझे दर्द पड़ा, बहुत दर्द होता है। अगर आप इस पेशेंट को ऑपरेशन देंगे तो कितना भी पैसा होगा। ये सारी टेस्ट आपको करके लेने हैं, उसके बाद विद्या कर्म करने के लिए लेना। अभी ये जो पेशेंट है ये अलग है, आप बोलोगे विद्या से फेस भी चेंज होता है, कर्म नहीं। ये अलग पेशेंट है, बीच का साइड के दो अलग है, ठीक है। विद्या कर्म करते समय ट्रैपेजियस जो मसल है अन्य रीजन से एक्रोटोक्लेविकुलर जॉइंट का, उस मसल के 3 पार्ट करने हैं, 2 पॉइंट्स, ठीक है। इसके बाद डेल्टॉइड मसल के 3 हेड रहते हैं, बीच का जो हेड है जहां बीसीजी वैक्सीन देते हैं वहां क्लिक करना। इसके बाद ऊपर जहां से फोल्ड होता है इसके ऊपर 4 अंगुल, नीचे 4 अंगुल लैटरली और शिप्र उद्भव पॉइंट, ये पॉइंट आपको लेते हैं। इस तरह से आप ले सकते हैं। अगर ये पॉइंट आप ले लेंगे तो विद इन 5 मिनट आपको बहुत अच्छे से रिजल्ट। और जो रोटेटर कप है जहां से हाथ घूमता है वहां पे देवदेव अंगुल के ऊपर आपको क्लिक करना है, एंटीरियर एंड पोस्टीरियर। प्रोसीजर करते समय ग्लोव्स पहनना इंपॉर्टेंट। मैंने जो बताया वही पॉइंट है। अभी ये इसके बाद का वीडियो है। लैटरली मूवमेंट बहुत अच्छे से हो गई है। पहले इतनी मूवमेंट नहीं थी। ये मूवमेंट को बहुत दर्द हो रहा है, कुछ भी दर्द नहीं। अगर आप ऐसे फर्क दोगे तो पेशेंट की क्या मजा लेने की फर्क नहीं है ऐसे। जब पेशेंट आते हैं तो सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट है लंबर वर्टिब्रे डायग्नोस करना। इसके लिए आपको करनी है एंटीरियर सुपीरियर लेग स्पाइन पे इंडेक्स फिंगर रखनी है, ओके। करो करो इंडेक्स फिंगर रखनी है एंटीरियर सुपीरियर लेग स्पाइन और पीछे की ओर जो अंगुष्ठ है वो मैच होनी चाहिए। इस तरह स्पाइनस प्रोसेस लगती है वो L5 है, ठीक है। वहाँ पॉइंट मार्क करना है, उसके बायलैटरल 2 अंगुल पे 2 पॉइंट मार्क करना। ऊपर कितने जाना है? छोड़ो छोड़ो, हो गए हो गए। अभी सर्वाइकल में ऊपर कितने गए थे हम? अभी यहाँ कितने जाएंगे? 1.5 अंगुल जाएंगे, ठीक है। और यही मैंने इस पेशेंट में किया है। ये अग्निकर्म का है, ये विद्युत कर्म का है। मैंने 90 स्लाइड बनाई थी, अभी 36 चल रही है। आपका इतना लॉस हो गया, ठीक है। L5 बैलेंस करने के बाद लैटरली 2 अंगुल के पॉइंट मार्क करना है, ऊपर 1.5 अंगुल जाना है, फिर लैटरली 2 अंगुल, ऐसे L1 तक जाना। और जिस साइड में पेन है वही वर्टिब्रे लेनी है। इसके सारे वीडियो अपने साइड में बनाए हैं अभी। ट्रिक करते समय एक नीडल से आप 3-4 पॉइंट ले सकते हैं। उसके बाद वो नीडल ब्लंट हो जाता है, और ब्लंट नीडल से अगर आप ट्रिक करेंगे तो दर्द ज़्यादा होगा। तो ये डेमो वीडियो है, मतलब पेशेंट ओरिजिनल है, लेकिन आपको समझने के लिए मैंने इतने सारे नीडल यूज़ किए हैं। इतने सारे नीडल यूज़ करने की ज़रूरत नहीं है, आप ये सारे पॉइंट 3-4 नीडल में कवर कर सकते हैं। ये सारे पॉइंट को विद्युत करना है और अग्निकर्म करना है, ठीक है। रुद्रस्य की डिटेल में लेता हूँ, क्योंकि हमारा ब्रेड एंड बटर है रुद्रस्य, ठीक है। रुद्रस्य में आपको ये चार्ट मालूम होना चाहिए। साइटिका ओरिजिन कौन सा है? साइटिका L4 to S3 और सारे गूगल पे इमेज है। L3, L4, L5, S1, ये साइटिका का ओरिजिन है, ठीक है। अगर नंबर 3 में प्रॉब्लम है तो एलॉन्ग सार्कोरियस पेन रहता है, ठीक है। और नंबनेस सिर्फ हाई रीजन पे है, ठीक है। आप विदाउट एमआरआई ये डायग्नोस कर सकते हैं कौन से वर्टिब्रा की कॉम्प्रेशन है, ठीक है। उसके बाद L4 में अगर कॉम्प्रेशन है तो लैटरली नर्व जाके घुटने के लैटरली टूवर्ड्स टिबियल ट्यूबरसिटी के अलोंग आपको पेन रहेगा। और नंबनेस हाई रीजन और ये टिबियल ट्यूबरसिटी पे है, ठीक है। L5 L5 में लैटरली पेन रहेगा, लैटरली। और S1 में पीछे से पेन रहेगा। अभी जो एक पेशेंट हमने किया था इसको L5 और S1 में तकलीफ थी, हमने सिर्फ ये वर्टिब्रे डायग्नोस की और वहां पे, ठीक है। ये पेशेंट के रिजल्ट है। रुद्रस्य में रुद्रवत चाल क्या होती है कि ये होती है। पेशेंट का चलने का गेट देखिए आप, एक स्टेप ले रहा है। पैर खींच के चलना, रुद्रवत चाल, उसकी जो पेल्विक गर्डर है टोटली चेंज हो गई और आफ्टर 2 months ये रिजल्ट पेशेंट सीधी चल रही है। अल्टरनेट स्टेप ले रही है। इतने सारे रिजल्ट आप दे सकते हैं, सिर्फ एक्यूरेटली आपको मालूम होना चाहिए क्या करना है। ये मेरे पेशेंट 5 पेशेंट आए थी एक्यूट नी पेन के लिए। पहले पैटेला डायग्नोस करना है और पैटेला डायग्नोस करने के बाद नीचे इंट्रापैटेलर फोसा है वहां पे करना है। और ये आफ्टर के रिजल्ट एक्यूट कंडीशन बहुत अच्छे से ट्रीट कर सकते हैं। जो पेशेंट एग्जामिनेशन टेबल पे चढ़ भी नहीं सकता वो 15 दिन में ये रिजल्ट है वो अपने आप चढ़ रहा है। This is not a magic. This is the Samprapti way with the help of African people. रेड हॉट शलाका कितनी होती है? तो ये होती है रेड हॉट शलाका, जिसमें कॉस्मेट डरमेट सर्जिकल केसेस का अनुकरण कर सकते हैं। कितनी रेड हॉट शलाका रहेगी? ये कौन ने मतलब कदर में अपने कर्म किया है? एक स्किन रहती है इसलिए दर्द होता नहीं है। जब दर्द होता है तब शलाका पीछे लेनी है और गुरुत्व लगाना है। माइकोसिस चित्तों में भी आप आगे कर्म कर सकते हैं। अग्निकर्म के जो प्रकार है बले बिंदु विलेखना, ये विलेखना होता है। चित्तों में ट्रीटमेंट है कि मेन डायरेक्टली रिमूव करते हैं, विद द हेल्प ऑफ आयुर्वेदिक ट्रीटमेंट आप इसको बचा सकते हैं। ये प्रतिफल अग्निकर्म है, अग्निकर्म का और एक प्रकार। ग्रंथ में आया है कि केश और दंत को वेदना नहीं होती, तो वेदना होती है। ठीक है, इस साइनोसाइटिस में ये केस मुझे ली है। स्पेसिफिक पॉइंट रहते हैं कहाँ युद्ध कर्म करना है, पॉइंट में जब ब्लीडिंग होता है तो उपचार और अच्छा है। सिलेंडर स्विच में भी हम विद्ध कर्म कर सकते हैं। प्रक्रिया को बचा के ये विद्ध कर्म करना पड़ेगा। आपको एनाटॉमी बहुत अच्छी होनी चाहिए, आपको तभी आप कर सकते हैं। परमानेंट हाइपरट्रॉफी डीएनएस नेजल कॉलिंग में भी कर सकते हैं। और बहुत अच्छा ऑपरेशन भी मिलता है। ये उत्तरासिका है। ये उसके रिजल्ट है। कंजक्टिवाइटिस नेत्र में भी विद्ध कर्म करते हैं। ये कंजक्टिवाइटिस की केस है। बिफोर की और ये आफ्टर की इमेज। सब कंजक्टिवाइल हेमरेज इसको भी मैनेज कर सकते हैं हम। बिफोर की इमेज है, धीरे धीरे वो डिसॉल्व हो रहा है। ठीक, ड्रॉपिंग ऑफ आईलिड्स इसमें बहुत अच्छा रिजल्ट है विद्ध कर्म। कंप्लीटली ड्रॉपिंग ऑफ आईलिड है। विदिन 1 मंथ को ट्रीट होती है। ये केस मैं बहुत फास्ट ले रहा हूँ, कुछ भी नहीं बता रहा हूँ, सिर्फ रिजल्ट बता रहा हूँ। ठीक, दिन का मोड में भी आप कर्म कर सकते हैं। ये उसके रिजल्ट है। इनवाइकल हर्निया का ये वीडियो है, उसमें भी हम कर्म करते हैं। सेशन करता हूँ मैं। अभी पंचकर्म का बहुत ट्रेंड चल रहा है। सारे जगह पंचकर्म करेंगे तो एक ही भी प्रैक्टिस अच्छे से नहीं चलेगी। तो आपको डिस्कवर योर यूनिकनेस, आपका खुद का यूनिकनेस क्या है, तो ही आप अच्छे से मार्केट में चल सकते हैं। तो डिस्कवर योर यूनिकनेस एंड बी डिफरेंट। ये मोबाइल नंबर है, नोट डाउन कर सकते हैं। नहीं करना है कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं। इस पे आपके जो केस हैं आप मुझे डिस्कस कर सकते हैं, या हमारे अंशस्मन के ग्रुप हैं, मैं उसको आपको मैं उसमें ऐड करता हूँ। उसमें केसेस डिस्कशन लेक्चर के लिए वगैरह आ जाए। ठीक है, बाकी बर्थडे विशेष, गुड नाइट, गुड मॉर्निंग कुछ नहीं भेजना। ये मेरी गुरु परंपरा है। आयुर्वेद में जितना कुछ आता है वो इनकी वजह से। ये मैं, मेरी मिसेस, मैं जो कुछ भी हूँ इसकी वजह से। थैंक यू।
Thank you very much, sir, for such an enlightening and insightful session. Your extensive clinical experience and practical guidance on uncharted procedures have truly enriched our understanding. The knowledge you shared today will certainly inspire many young practitioners and researchers to explore the depth of Ayurvedic surgical techniques, sir. Now I request our respected chairperson, Dr. Muralidharan Negi, sir, and Dr. Avinash Pade, sir, to kindly felicitate our esteemed keynote speaker as a token of our gratitude.
to kindly felicitate our judges.
Yes, sir, please. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir. On behalf of organizing committee, I express our sincere gratitude for your valuable time and for sharing your expertise with us. Now, I invite Dr. Abhiya for vote of thanks.
Respected principal madam, Dr. Mohitin sir, respected the speakers, respected faculty members and dear participants, as we come to the end of pre-conference scientific session, it's my privilege to propose the vote of thanks. First of all, I would like to express our sincere gratitude to our respected principal madam for her constant guidance and encouragement. We are deeply thankful to our esteemed guest speakers for sharing their valuable knowledge and insight with us today. Your presence has truly enriched this session. I would also extend heartfelt thanks to all the organizing committees, the scientific committee, registration and reception committee, stage committee, food committee, certificate committee, transport committee, finance committee, media committee, technical committee, and disciplinary committee for their dedicated efforts in making this program successful. Finally, I thank all faculty members, staff, and students for their active participation and support. With this, we conclude today's session. Thank you and have a wonderful day ahead and enjoy today's session. At Gandhinagar, we expect your valuable campus and NFSC Gandhinagar. Thank you.
चार जरा पतला Pokoklah. Yang lihat nih kalau Korea. Ya. Babagdan ako video.
चलो